Now that is how you end a season of an anime. Rather than the episode starting off with Endeavor's epic battle against High-End Hood, we've cut to Fujiya Hospital with Fuyumi and a freshly introduced brother Natsuo visiting their mother Rei. Too bad brother Toya couldn't visit, but I'm sure he had other important business to take care of. Fuyumi points out the weather's going to be a lot chillier soon, but for them that's a good thing. Even though we haven't seen their quirks used visually, this scene subtly confirms that Fuyumi and Natsuo have ice-type quirks just like their mother. Natsuo sounds just like I thought he would too. Bones picked a very fitting voice actor for him. After talking about Shoto for a little, Natsuo brings up the fact that Endeavor officially became the #1 hero yesterday. This is where we get a glimpse of Natsuo's true feelings about Endeavor as a father, even though he barely has any memories of Endeavor since Endeavor was hardly in his life due to Natsuo not being good enough, quote-unquote. He still can't forgive him for what he did to Shoto, his mother, and Toya too. That last part isn't mentioned, but you know, I'm sure that's what he was thinking. He also mentions it's been 10 years since the whole incident occurred with Shoto being burned and his mother being sent to the hospital. I myself forgot the specific time it had taken place until I saw this episode. That means Shoto was maybe 6 when he got burned, Natsuo was 9, Fuyumi was 13, and Toya was probably 14 or 15. The whole Todoroki family situation has always been a really difficult situation for fans to agree on how it's being handled in the story, but I personally think Horikoshi is handling it incredibly well. Rei isn't just flat out forgiving Endeavor all out of nowhere just because he came to visit a few times. It's a gradual process. He's still trying to face his past, but is still trying to figure out a way to solve it so his whole family can be happy together. I definitely think what Endeavor did to his family in the past was messed up, and to this day, as someone who is fully caught up to the manga, I don't necessarily think he's a good person either. But that doesn't make him a bad character. You gotta learn how to differentiate the two. Back to Endeavor in the High-End, we see the High-End being able to recover easily from Endeavor's jet burn from the last episode. Endeavor realizes the black Nomu from Hosu had regeneration too, but not the white ones, meaning only the black ones have this power. Endeavor tries to unleash a new move that we haven't seen yet called Hell Spider, where he shoots fire stems from his fingers to burn his enemy. These stems form in a way just like an actual spider web, hence the name. This move was no match for High-End though. He was able to slam Enji through a building while damn near slicing that same building in half with one arm. The animation in here looked so fucking good, by the way, when Endeavor was spinning like a UFO to land back down in the air. The fight as a whole, I think, had more of the budget put into it than Deku vs. Overhaul. It was honestly on par with Heroes Rising's animation quality. We get to see Hawks' Fierce Wing in some real action here too. I just love how fast this man is. Not only are his wings fast at getting the job done, but he's also an incredibly fast thinker, realizing he can't get everyone in the building out, but prioritizing the people in the damaged parts of the building. All 67 of them. Just imagine how much precision is required to use each individual feather like that. But the more feathers Hawks uses to save people, the harder it is for him to fly. Look at the way this dude is running backwards in this scene. It looks so goofy. I love that. Hood gets annoyed with other pros from the surface interfering with the fight and spawns white-colored Nomu from his body for those guys to deal with. Endeavor begins to worry about overheating as well due to the overuse of his Flash Fire Fist. That's always been the main drawback of his quirk and why it's a borderline impossible task for him to surpass All Might. Endeavor continues to heat up anyway though to unleash his ultimate move, Prominence Burn on High-End. Endeavor basically turned into a miniature version of the sun while using this. But the High-End has become more and more adaptable as more time passes during the fight. It was able to remove its own head from its body to regenerate from the neck down to avoid the Prominence Burn. Then proceeds to land a nasty hit on Endeavor, covering his entire left side of his face with blood. This was the attack that gave Endeavor his nasty scar that resembles Shoto's burn. My god, Bones made that shot with Endeavor getting his eye blown out look so good. Like, I think it actually might look better than the manga panel. Endeavor damn near looks defeated here, and we're able to see the reactions of Shoto, Natsuo, Fuyumi, and even All Might due to the fight being broadcast on the news. Endeavor refuses to go down no matter how bleak things get, though. He's just like Bakugo in that sense, where even if there's things that you know you can't reach no matter how hard you tried, you keep going anyway. I respect the fuck out of that mindset. Even with not being able to move his own body properly anymore, he uses the force of his flames alone to propel himself forward to chase Hood. Hawks joins in to help, thinking back about how Endeavor was the only one trying to seriously surpass All Might in the past. God, this scene in particular almost made me tear up. Endeavor looking depressed as hell, trying to create that dinky little wood bridge to cross the gap between him and All Might. I really felt bad, man. I still do. And Hawks always looked up to Endeavor because of that. Well, that's one of the reasons anyway. Hawks uses some of his feathers to latch onto Endeavor's back so he can be even faster in order to break through Hood's regen ability. This thing refuses to quit, just like Endeavor, though. Even when being burned from the inside by Endeavor's fist, it's still charging forward. Endeavor decides to take flight even higher so he can go all out again and not worry about people or buildings. He then realizes this Nomu is just like him from the past in a sense, obsessed with being the strongest rather than actually wanting to save people like a hero should. Endeavor finally unleashes his ultimate plus ultra prominence burn to put this thing to rest. My god, I just can't get over how good this fight looked. Honestly, it was a 10 out of 10, might have even been the best episode in Season 4. You know, the subtle parallels with this fight too, it was a lot like All Might versus the Nomu at USJ, and kind of like All Might versus All for One. Both characters going beyond their limits to defeat their enemy while also taking severe damage in the process. Potential foreshadowing with how Bakugo's mindset with being a hero will change like Endeavor's did, because they both thought the exact same way at one point, just being obsessed with strength. Endeavor making the exact same pose as All Might when All Might beat All for One. It really is his time, or rather, everyone's time now. Not gonna lie, I was incredibly surprised that the episode didn't end with Dabi pulling up on Endeavor and Hawks like I thought it would, but rather Endeavor's fist in the air pose. I'm not mad or anything, just surprised. We'll get the scene in Season 5 though, right off the bat, I'm sure of it. There was also an after-credit scene after the ending played that gave a mini teaser for Season 5 with Deku having his One For All dream, showing the struggle between All For One and his younger brother, which is something else that's going to be explored right at the start of Season 5. And I'm still hoping the wait for Season 5 won't be too long. I think that just about does it for this video though. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought about this episode, and if you were an Endeavor hater before, if your opinions on Endeavor changed during this episode, even just a little bit. I would love to know your thoughts. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace out, take care, bye-bye.